yourselves know them all right. Factory inspectors, I understand. Well, I don't know why they've sent you here. Not today. Today of all days. Quite a day today, I'll tell you. But don't surprise me. Anyway, where are my manners? Welcome to the Mule Room. Very nice to see you here. Don't usually see people like you in Mule Room. Usually just for us, mule spinners and our pieces. Now they're the ones that twist together the bits of broken thread. We have to pay them out of our wages. We're looked up to in this mill, you know. Takes skill and experience to work one of them, you know. Nice to see ladies. Quite a few ladies in mill, don't usually see that either. As you can see, we don't wear very much on account of the heat. It's hot in here, all right, and humid. And heat, you know what they say? It inflames the passions. So hold yourself back there, love, won't you? There. Well, you might be thinking I don't look up too much, but I tell you, I don't wear boots. It's true. But it's not because I can't afford them. The floor gets covered in machine oil. And if you don't work barefoot, you'll be sliding about all over the place. But when I step out in style. They call us mule spinners barefoot aristocrats. Yeah. Do you know I get paid 34 shillings and sixpence a week? There we are, changed your mind now, haven't you, look? Yeah. That's right. That's a good wage, that. I have to pay the pieces, like I say, but usually 5 bob will do for them. So when we go out in town to the local hostelries, they're very pleased to see us come. And a lot of them set aside special rooms just for us. Yeah, how about that? Mind you, looking at your faces, you're probably temperance, are you? I wouldn't be surprised. Mind you, I tell you this, after a day's work in this place, where the temperatures can reach 90 or even 100 degrees, I reckon you're down a jug of ale faster than one of them temperance cocktails. Anyway, this is the machine that I usually work. Anyone know what it's called? Mule, very good. If you didn't, I tell you what, think where we are, the Mule Room. It might give you an idea. Yeah, sharp on that side, aren't you? It's called a mule, and it was invented by Samuel Crompton, a Bolton man, back in 1779. He did the work at all this wood, but I tell you what, he had to hide it as he was building it, because there were some that worked by hand, made agitation, thinking that this was going to take away their jobs. Tell you what, they weren't wrong, were they? They were worked by hand. Machinery has changed everything. And what's machinery and progress brought to Bolton? Factories. There's 81 mills in Bolton. Yeah, quite a few, isn't it? But I tell you what, look at them spindles on that mule. Not so very many. The first mules had 48 spindles, but soon there was ones with 100, 200, 400, and now they have them with 1,000. So, just a few years back, as we're speaking now, you could almost hear 1 million spindles clickety-clacking all over Bolton. Aye. Do you know what they used to say? Lancashire cotton mills can do all the work they need to produce cotton for the home market before breakfast. And after that, we're working for the export market. What time's breakfast? Hey, you're good at your expecting, aren't you? Yeah, very good. We start work at 5 in the morning. Breakfast comes at 8 o'clock, half an hour. And then we work through again till noon and have an hour for dinner. And after that, we work through till 6 or 7 p.m. So it's quite a long day, but it's a big business, isn't it? I mean, £15 million worth in weight of cotton passes through Bolton every year. Or at least it did. Funny thing, isn't it? I still remember the battles that my dad and my granddad fought for demonstrations. They had strikes, unions, and in the end we had laws to protect us that work in factories and look after women and children. Yeah, all that's in the past. And I tell you what else is in the past. That bloke, that German, did any of you meet him? That Engels bloke. He was up here before he wrote the Communist Manifesto. Yeah, workers of the world unite, that's what he said. I'll tell you what he also said. He said this: among the worst of the towns after Preston and Oldham is Bolton, which, insofar as I've been able to ascertain in my repeated visits, has but one main street, a very dirty one, Deansgate, which also serves as market, and which, even in the very finest weather, is a dark and unattractive hole. He said that the older parts of the town here, as everywhere, are especially ruinous and miserable. And he also said that a dark-coloured body of water, which leaves the beholder in doubt as to whether it's a brook or a string of stagnant puddles, that flows through the town and contributes its share to the total pollution of the air, which is by no means pure without it. They'd be so mad when I heard that I memorised it. I did. Well, I mean, of course we're not that pretty a town, and the town mills can't compete with them outside, can they? Not at Edgerton and Ashworth's at Eagerley Brook. I mean, well, you lot gave them a very good bill of health a few years back already, you know. You said that Edgerton, although inhabited solely by a factory population, is as clean and sweet-smelling and wholesome and smokeless as it could be. And you contrasted that with Bolton and commented on the pallidness of the houses and the people. Yeah. Like I say, out there they've got company villages and they've got libraries. Yeah. Oh, and have you been to Chadwick's at Eagerley Bridge? Oh, I tell you what, you should see it out there. They've got an ornamental park and a bathhouse. Any of you work at Dean Mills? Barrow Bridge? No? Wish I did. Workers' cottages they've got with gardens. A cooperative shop. Yeah, and a bakery. And when they opened their bathhouse there, do you know what they did? They celebrated by having a performance of Handel's Messiah. Meanwhile, back at our mill, you said we had terrible conditions. But that was not the fault of the employers, because they could find no more work for the people, and nor could they afford to pay us any more. But like I say, that's a few years back, and I don't bear grudges, because things have changed around here. We're on the up, largely because of this. You see, before the mule come, you took a water frame and tried to spin a pound of cotton. You could spin it to 40 hanks. That's about 19 miles long. Take the mule, and you can spin it to 2,000 hanks. That's 950 miles. And the yarn that we produce, that means that our weavers can compete with the finest Indian muslins. So I tell you that. We're renowned in Bolton for our fine spinning. So things have been going well, at least for a while. Just as we was beginning to enjoy ourselves, something happened. Civil war's broken out, isn't it, in America? Something we can't do now to bow. There's a war between the North and the South. And what are the North doing? They're blocking the southern ports, so the southern states can't export cotton. And what do we need in Lancashire? That very cotton from them southern states. There. So, supplies of cotton to Lancashire have, as you might say, dried up. Mills are being closed. People are being put out of work. Do you know? Even as we speak, 6,500 people have been put out of work already. They're calling it the cotton famine, and it's beginning to bite. Now, some of them that use the Egyptian cotton, the Sudak cotton, or cotton from Brazil, they're all right. And that firm I mentioned before, Ashworth's, yeah, well, they've been stockpiling it, so they're going from strength to strength. But for most of us, times is hard. Time getting harder. Worried about you with all them young ones, I tell you. That's why I'm surprised to see you here today, you lot, because there's no work for me to do. You've come here to inspect stuff, but there's nothing to inspect. We've got no cotton here. We're closing down as well. Already put my mule in a box, look. So, that's about that. But one thing is that some people are saying we should be proud of this. We should support this blockade. And this famine is not just about us and our stomachs and our wages. No, it's to get rid of an evil thing. Slavery. Because you see, them northern states that I spoke of want to get rid of slavery, and the southern states want to hold on to it.